Good morning, my dear friends. How are you? Today we meditate on another section of the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus calls us three things: the salt of the earth, the light of the world, and a city set on a hill. What are we to make of these teachings today? First of all, certainly Jesus is speaking to the disciples and not to the larger crowd. And he says, if the salt loses its saltiness, what is it good for? It is only good to be trampled by foot by people, discarded, worthless. What is the salt that Jesus is talking about? It's the identity, the richness, the beauty, the finesse of the gospel. If we change the gospel into something else, then it loses its power, then it loses the saltiness of it. How can salt lose its saltiness? In our day, where salt is quite pure, sodium chloride, table salt, the only way it loses its saltiness is if you put a teaspoonful of salt in a swimming pool, it just loses its saltiness, doesn't it? But of course, we have to contextualize this in the era where Jesus lived, where salt was taken from the Dead Sea, and usually it was quite impure. And if you left it for a long time, the salt vanishes away, and you're left with white gypsum, which was good for nothing. So, the first thing that I think we need to meditate today is the fact that we are called to have the purity, the focus of the gospel, and not lose it. Because if we have a lot of noise, if we add to it our own ideas, then it loses its saltiness. And then he says, you are the light of the world. Now, my dear friends, I just have a little bulb here. You are a bulb. It doesn't show any light. But if you put this into the socket, then the bulb shows the light. But the bulb itself is not the light. It is the light within it, it's the filament within it. And so we are called to be bearers of the light of Christ. If we are cut off from the electricity, from the main source of our light, Jesus, then we're just a bulb. But the bulb, inside the electricity, we, inside of Christ, we can shine our light in the world. My dear friends, we are a city set on a hilltop to be an inspiration to others. But one thing is very important, I think, to understand is the identity. You are the salt, you are the light, you are the city. So we are human beings, not human doers. So in being salt, in being light, in being a city set on a hill, Jesus is giving us our identity. We need to be humble and accept the fact that it is not we as such, but Christ within us. But then we need to have the boldness to understand that with Christ in us, we can be a light to others. God bless you, my friends.